Hi, in today's video we are going to look into the machine export and more specifically into the individual control manager. This is something that has been added a few years back, and that is a great addition to machine export, allowing you to better track your edit and managing your actual machine file. So here, if I would like to export this element, I'm just going to my last assigned machine that I can use with Ctrl Q, and here on the left side we see this individual control manager. If it is not available when you go into your machine interface, simply activate it using representation option and activate it with the checkbox individual control manager. In this control manager you will be able to organize your elements based on specific criteria that you will be able to select yourself here at the bottom under select sorting attributes, and as for the list, you will be able to use any of these information on the left side to organize your list at the top. So here at the moment I'm splitting or organizing my element based on the different area in my model, and then by each group of element. This allows you to also easily select the element using this interface. What we see here is I've already run a calculation that you can actually do now directly by interacting with the different level of your hierarchy, either on individual group or individual element. The green light here indicates that we've run after the calculation a check processes. If the machine result correctly matches the shape of your element in 3D, the light turns green, meaning that all processes have been recognized. When you see a yellow light, it simply means that no process has been checked. So to do so, you can simply right click and run the process. If the light turns red after the calculation or after the check, it simply means that the calculation or the machine data that has been set does not fully gives you the needed result. So in that case here we could press C to run the process again on that item, and Cadwork is going to show you here what we call the deviation body, simply the processes that are missing from the calculation. You can then easily zoom on them using Shift Lasso, and whether this is relevant or not, you can actually adjust your calculation accordingly or simply disregard this result. In some cases, it might happen that due to the size of the element, seeing the deviation body might not be as easy. In this case, there is a new feature in V2025 that allows you to quickly zoom in on active processes. After running the check process, the deviation body are considered active elements. So if you simply right-click on the zoom all, or use the shortcut Shift-Y, you can simply zoom on each of them. As long as you use it, it simply goes to the next one in line. Okay. This deviation body here will have a representation, and you can actually change that color. The same goes for every single processes you have in the machine calculation. To do so, simply go to Option, Representation option, and Color Configuration. You can here assign different colors to group of process or to individual ones. Let's add this one in bright red. So now my deviation body will be shown red. For each element that you have, when you select them, you will see here on the left side all the different processes. You can of course select directly these processes using this interface, and of course they are considered as active, so you can zoom on them, but you can also use the lasso. The lasso here works exactly as it works in Cadwork, meaning that a lasso from left to right will only select the element fully inside. A red lasso, only the process with at least one point inside. And you can still here add element to your selection with a right-click lasso or remove with a middle-click lasso. In the individual control manager, you can also, if I extend here, we have some new information available. We have one here that is these gears. This allows you to run new calculation or assign new calculation setting on a specific item. To access it, simply click it and it will open the machine configuration. Here you can, if you have already, you can select specific set that you would have already made, or you can create new one based on, let's say here I would not like to have any dado on this one, and simply create a new set. Just going to call that no dado, and we need to make sure to activate it or to assign it to this element using the green check. Once a custom preset has been assigned to an element, you can differentiate them from the rest with this green icon instead of the classic gray one. And when you hover the mouse on top, it will actually show the name of the setting used. In that case, no dado. You can also see that next to all the elements, we also have a check mark and an icon. The check mark here simply means that these elements have been exported already. This icon is simply linked to the cam that has been assigned to this specific machine export. In order to have one available, you will need, of course, in the export window, to assign here, using the gears, the proper software to be used. If set, you can simply then double-click on this icon to open that file straight away. Now that we've run some export, let's get back into this sorting criteria, because here we don't only have access to attribute from the model itself, but you can also use information from the actual calculation status. So here, if we look into this, we have some information such as the machine calculation set, the status of the element. So the status is actually this green lights, so whether the check was correct or not, or simply not run. Have this been already exported? And you can even here have the file name, so the name of the file generated, and even its path. You can also display the calculation set and whether the calculation has been locked or not on specific element. Locking a calculation is something that is represented by this lock here that you can do on single element by interacting with this symbol, or right-clicking and locking, or doing the same on the whole thing. Locking calculation simply means that if you were to run the calculation on the whole thing again, this element won't be modified. So this allows you actually to better manage what you've already done, making sure that it will not be erased by you or anyone else. I'm just going here to change the order and simply set already exported, calculation locked, and then let's say status, and that should be good. And apply, and here if we hide this, we will have here, has it been exported? No and yes. Then here the element that are locked and the element unlock without or with errors. And here of course you can interact with all of them, and always again giving you access to specific sorting to better organize what you are doing. So I hope this will help you a lot in all of your project, and thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.